Yeah, hi guys, welcome to another card discussion video. In this video I want to discuss the last 4 cards which have been revealed since my last video. Yeah, I want to share my opinion with you, but it's just my opinion. Also make your own thoughts, and maybe you can also compare it with some opinions from other players. Okay, but let's start. The first one is the 3-mana hunter, hunter spell. It's called Infest, and it gives all your minions on the board the death rattle. And the death rattle says if this minion dies, you get a random beast in your hand. So this card, yeah, you should have some board presence for it. So you get you can give some minions a dash rattle. If not, there's always a chance to combine it with Unleash the Hound for 6 mana. This would be also similar to the Dark Cultist play. Yeah. Another thing you can compare it with, it's a Ball of Spiders, where you summon the 3/1/1 web spinners, which has the similar death rattle. Yeah, and this card is actually just good for card draw. Yeah, how good is this card? So I think for Face Hunter, this card is not useful. It would be nice to draw cards, but not just random beast. You have a certain strategy, just making face damage as much as possible. Almost all your cards should have this, so just getting random beasts are not that good. It becomes more interesting, the card, the slower your deck is. For mid-range, this can be a card which could be interesting, but it's not necessarily that good. I think mid-range hunter is also working quite okay with quite good without card draw, so you don't need so much card draw. Here with this card is something where you could easily gain card advantage and outboil your opponent. It's not so much a tempo play. And then the question is also how good it is in comparison with Dark Cultist. When you play Dark Cultist, everything on the board has to, or if you want to draw the card from it, it should die immediately. And here, it's not necessary. You just give all your minions death rattle, and then you sacrifice as much as you want. So it has a few advantages about it, but then you get random stuff, while with Dark Cultist you get those cards from your deck which follow your deck strategy. So everything, both have their advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, I was just talking about mid-range. So in a control deck this would be better, because then you can gain card advantage and you have more options with this. Question is how good will be a control hunter in the next meta. So far it wasn't that successful. And then is the question, is it better than Dark Cultist or not? So I think in control hunter, if this will be a thing later, it's an okay card, not necessarily good or amazing. But yeah, it could be also substituted with Dark Cultist. In Arena, I think the problem is that, yeah, you need board presence to make this work. In Constructed, you have most likely 2 Unleash the Hounds inside your deck. You won't have this in Arena, and then it's a problem. Yeah, if you have no board presence, it's useless. You can combine it with another minion you just played in one turn, but then it means you're already later in the game, and since you have to spend 3 mana on the spell, your minion can't be so huge what you are playing, and you just put it on the death rattle on one minion. So with Infest wouldn't get enough value out of it, and you have just a small minion. quite late in the game, which is then probably easily removed from your opponent. So it can happen that you really lose a board, or yeah, if you don't have board presence, you most likely are already a little bit behind, or you're at an equal board stage, so that everything is cleared. But then you have there's the risk that you lose the board even more. So I don't think it's a good card in Arena. The next card we have here is Tentacles for Arms. It's a 5-mana warrior weapon with 2/2 and the death rattle that, yeah, you get it back in your hand, which is nice. It can have some advantages, so you can gain card advantages with this, because whenever you play this, you get it back. It's like playing nothing at all. And yeah, at least you can deal 4 damage, but 5 mana for 4 damage, that's not good. That's just way too much. You lose so much tempo, and with 2 attack, there are just so many few things you can remove with this weapon. I really don't see how this can work. The only situation where I think this can be good is if you have a control matchup, and yeah, both sides are waiting for the other one to take over the action so that they can react. In those situations, you can just easily play this card. If it gets destroyed by an ooze or whatever, you get the card back. And while you're waiting, you can use this weapon to deal 4 damage. But is it that good? I don't think it's worth to include this weapon just for this special situation. Actually, I think if the death rattle would be put it back in your deck, this one would be even better, because then you would have huge advantages when it comes to mill decks, because yeah, then you can make sure that every second turn you can get 1 card back in your deck. So when you're already at the point of fatigue, also with your opponent, every second turn you won't get the damage out of it, and this is a lot when it comes to fatigue wars. So that would have been good, but it's not the case. So I don't think it's not good. Reminds me a little bit of Poisoned Blade from Rook, where also everyone was said, "What is this card? This is not good at all." And then everyone was waiting for another card which synergizes with this weapon and to make it better. And I had more or less the same feeling. I was feeling, okay, this card is so bad. We need to see another card to make this happen, and we probably will, because otherwise it won't really wheel such crap. But I don't know. Poison Blade proved actually that they sometimes do this. Yeah, I'm curious. So Constructed is really bad in Arena. Yeah, if it comes to top decking or so, then this can be good. If you can survive long enough, then maybe you can win against your opponent by having the card advantage. That might be good, but usually this is also such a huge tempo lose that I don't think this card is really good. It's maybe a little bit better than in Constructed, but this card so long without any help from other cards, it's just a really bad card in my opinion. Okay, so the next thing is the Rook Legendary. It's Xaril, Poisoned Mind. It's a 4-mana 3/2, and it has Battle Cry and the Death Rattle, which says that add a toxic card to your hand. Toxic card, there are 5. It's a Blood Sistle Toxin. Return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 2 less. It is King's Blood Toxin, draw a card. Fire Bloom Toxin, deal 2 damage. Fate Leaf Toxin, give a friendly minion stealth until your next turn. Barrier Thorn Toxin, give a minion +3 attack. So those are the three, no, the five toxic cards. It's a little bit like spare parts. So he has some. He looks a little bit similar to Toshley, which has the same effect, Battle Cry and Death Rattle. I think those toxic cards are a bit better than Death Rattle, so you gain +3 attack instead of just one. The stealth one is good, but we have the same similar. No, we actually we have the same spare part. Then there's one Shadow Step, basically for 1 mana. Draw a card for 1 mana, and yeah, also dealing 2 damage for 1 mana is actually Holy Smite. Is also a good card. So those cards are quite good, and yeah, also in Rook it fits pretty good because Rook has a lot of combo cards, and you can easily combo cards with those toxic cards, and as well, yeah, I don't know, really long time ago, Miracle Rook was what the thing was pretty strong. It got nerfed, and yeah, with Tomb Pillager from League of Explorers, we have seen a few times, yeah, Miracle Rook back in the game, and those cards, those toxic cards, would fit quite nicely into this theme, but yeah, it was not that strong. And if this makes it so much better, I don't know. But if you run Gadgetzan Auctioneer, then those toxic cards are really good to cycle through your deck. So if you have yeah, plan to make a OTK, then this might be okay. Yeah, but the stats are really not that good. So that's a huge drawback. So I don't know if this really makes up for that. Another thing, it's yeah, it has a Death Rattle, and we also already saw that there's a minion with a Death Rattle, a Rook minion. So since so many Death Rattle minions will be cycled out in standard, yeah, so Rook got a few Death Rattle minions, and maybe Rook will be specialized for Death Rattle minions. It also has the Undersraptor, which has good synergies. So who knows, this might be also a thing. Yeah, also has some synergy with Northos. Okay, it's not so good if you just get a 3-2 back, which no immediately effect on your board, but it's better than nothing, so might be okay. So I think if you really see this play or not is really depending on different things. The card itself, I think it's a good card. You can really make good use out of the toxic cards. In Arena, maybe a little bit worse, but still a good card, I would say. Yeah, so you lose tempo because you just have 3-2 for 4 mana, and this probably every 2-drop can trade in this. But with this toxic card, you might have the chance to have a good tempo swing, and then 1 or 2 later you gain back the board control. Fine. So we come to the last one, which is Ragnaros Lightlord. It's a Paladin legendary. It's an 8/8 for 8 mana, and instead, yeah, creating this huge fireball which damages some enemy character for 8 damage. One of your characters get healed by 8. So it's the opposite effect. So it's, I don't know. It's quite funny that they took those guys and make it yeah, completely the other way. How good is this card? So actually, I think this card is quite good. The thing is, so stat-wise, yeah, it has had good stats. It's a big minion, and it has immediate effect. If you play it, and at the end of your turn, you get the heal. And the good thing is that it also works when you're a little bit behind on the board. If you're behind and then you're almost going to die, then you play this minion, and yeah, if you, most likely you don't have anything else on the board, what you have you can then maybe trade away, and your character gets healed by 8. And when your opponent is trying to kill you, and he cannot kill you immediately, he needs to trade into this guy, because he has a chance, no, the choice. He has a choice to deal 8 damage either to your Ragnaros, or deal those 8 damage to your to your hero. But if he decides to do it to your hero, you have Ragnaros. Ragnaros will make a trade next turn. You play something other stuff, which will have full health, and then you get the 8 health back from Ragnaros. So when you don't have lethal, it doesn't make sense to go on your face. You should then rather kill Ragnaros and then attack with the remaining minions. So playing this, you get 8 health, and your opponent is going to trade into this guy, which is which helps you a lot, because it lowers his board presence, and and you get less damage to your face. So that's really helpful. So useful when you're behind. If you're ahead, you can also play this minion in case you have other minions in play. You're controlling a board. You make you kill another guy, make an efficient trade. You play this guy, and then your old minion gets healed, which gives you an even stronger board presence. Of course, it's really expensive, and also other minions with this mana cost have some really nice effects. So that's why I'm not so sure how much we will see this, but actually this card alone, if you just consider this card, is good. But not in Constructed, not all the good cards will be seen, since you always have to need to serve a certain strategy. What was also nice to see is if you compare it with Ragnaros. If you're behind on the board, then actually you need, or it's more valuable that the RNG effect is not that random. So if you play it and you have nothing else on your board, your hero gets healed for sure. If you have a huge board presence and you have more stuff on the board which is injured, then it's more random which gets healed, but then you're already ahead on the board. This is not so bad. With Ragnaros the Firelord, it's the other way around. If you're ahead on the board and you play this guy, then he might have 1 minion or no minion, but then you have it hits face for 100%, or if he has 1 minion, it's a 50-50 chance. So it's pretty high the chance that it hits what you want. But if you're behind on the board and your opponent has already 3 or 4 minions and you play this guy, then you would like that it hits one of those guys. But then the chance is really high that it's not hitting the guy you want to kill. So the more you're behind, the worse is the RNG effect, and it's the other way around with the good Ragnaros. Let's call him like this. Yeah, I think in Mariner it's also a good card. Healing is not that important, but it's also not bad, and it can also help in some situations. Yeah, especially Paladin, so in my opinion at least, has a really strong mid game. But if your opponent has a stronger early game, yeah, if you lose the early game, your opponent is maybe a little bit ahead. Then you start to gain board control slowly by slowly, and at a certain point he's then deciding to yeah, don't care about the board anymore. So he's just going right to your face and trying to kill you as soon as possible before you take over the board. And in those situations, he would be really, really good. It's a really huge minion. It's an you heal for 8. That's really strong. Yeah. So it's a good in constructed, and it's also a good arena card, even though the health is in a lot of cases not that important. Okay, so these were the 4 new cards. Yeah, I hope you got some new ideas about this. You like my, or you can agree with my argumentation, with my opinions, with my argumentations about this card. But as I said, make your own thoughts about it, and then yeah, hopefully we see us again when I'm discussing the next cards in a few days.